This is going to soon be in new hands. But anyway, I got some advice from John Pertwee, who knows how to drive it just a little bit better than our new friends. So let's try again. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Nathan Turner.
Are you all enjoying yourselves? Yeah. Why? What are you doing? I thought I'd just tell you a little bit about myself. It's very nice to be back at Atlanta. I was here last year at Dixie Trap. My first involvement with the show was in 1969 when I worked on a story called The Space Pirates with Patrick Troughton. And I then joined it fairly briefly during 1970 and 71 for two stories with John Pertwee, who you've just seen. Then there was quite a substantial gap, and I came back to the show on a full-time basis as production unit manager in 1979. And I worked for 3 years as unit manager to Graham Williams, the then producer. And he retired from the show, and I was asked to take over as producer. That was in November 1979. So I took over the helm with Tom Baker as the Doctor, and it's been my delight and my pleasure to work with all of the Doctors now, apart from the late, great Bill Hartnell. We're about to start making a new season of the programme, a run of 14 episodes, and we start shooting at the end of the month. It'll be seen on the screen in the UK in the autumn. Not quite sure when it's available over here, but I wouldn't have thought too long after that, depending on the interest from your local stations. But we're entering a new era, and it's the era of the Seventh Doctor. And so I'd like to introduce to you for the very, very first time in America, Doctor number 7, Sylvester McCoy.
Hello. Hi. My name's Sylvester McCoy. I'm the Doctor number 7. If I make it after meeting that man, I might not get it. It's great to be here. I only found out on Monday that I was going to be the Doctor. And here I am in Atlanta. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I say it's going to be a good thing. Does anyone want to ask any questions? See anything?
Should we have a little more light?
We can't.
Should we raise the light a little more?
Blind
I think there's somebody there with a hat on. Yes.
It's John Baker. Ah!
What is the costume for the Seventh Doctor like?
Well, yes, we have been working on that in the last week, but we don't want to tell anyone yet until we finalise it, because there's a drawing and a designer's going to have to find the various bits and pieces for it. But as we haven't tried it on and worked with it in situation, we might change it. So the answer is, I'm not going to tell you.
Yeah.
Are you married?
Sadly, yeah. Yes, I'm married. I've got two boys, Sam and Joe. They're great. My wife Agnes, who's now a student nurse. She's sitting her finals on Monday to become a state registered nurse. So that'd be a doctor and a nurse in the family.
What was the primary reason for Colin Baker leaving the program?
I'm not sure whether this mic is working. I better get it.
It's a good one. Yeah, it works. I see him in the barbers recently. He was closed.
Primary reason for Colin leaving, it's been decided that the optimum period for a doctor on the programme now is 3 years. And we asked Colin if he would do 4 episodes of the new season, which he declined. I think basically because he was offered a very attractive role in the theatre in a play called Corpse, which he starts working on the minute we start shooting. We wish him well.
Yes.
All 6 of the doctors so far have been confronted by Daleks. Is the 7th Doctor going to be confronted by Daleks?
Is the 7th Doctor going to meet Daleks? Not in the new season this year, no. But I feel sure that they will rear their ugly pepper pot heads. Yes.
Gordon, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm 5 foot. Yes. The question was, tell us a little bit. Tell you a little about me. Well, I'm 5'6" and a dog end, we call it. Height, blue eyes, short-sighted. I'm a Scot from the Highlands of Scotland. With that, thank you. It's nice to be here, over here, just to kind of here. You know what I mean? That's a great Irish. It's fine. It's grand. I'm also Irish. My mother's Irish. My father's an English. I'm a true representative of the United Kingdom. Although they keep fighting, so it's not very united, but never mind. I've been an actor for a fairly short period of time due to my vast age. I've been acting for about 16, 17 years. Before that, I worked in the City of London, the kind of financial centre of Great Britain, where I was a trainee executive in a reinsurance firm. It was very boring. And luckily for me, my firm went bust. And I ended up working in the box office at the Roundhouse, a theatre in London, where in the late 60s and 70s, where the hippie era was it was the hub of hippiedom. All the great rock bands used to play there. I used to sell tickets for them. I was actually a bouncer once for the Rolling Stones. Like a small but I'm tough. That's a lie, I'm really... And then I was selling tickets in this box office, and there was another actor there who was collecting the tickets, and he presumed I was an actor. And I didn't unpresume him. I didn't say I wasn't. I didn't say I was. I just smiled. And one day, a director was setting up a show called the Ken Campbell Roadshow, and he was looking for someone to let him down, and he met this other actor, Ryan, and said to him, I've got this mad show I'm setting up in the north of England. I need someone really mad, you know. So that's the guy in the box office. He's completely out of his head. So he came up to me and said, do you want to join our show? And I said, I'm not an actor. And he said, well, do you want to become an actor? And I said, yes. So I did, and here I am. How I've managed to con myself all this way, I have no idea. But anyway, I'm trained. Except I did train once to be a priest. Kids. But I met girls. Changed my mind. Any more questions? Yes?
Are you going to be traveling with any companions as a doctor?
Yes, am I going to be travelling with any of the companions as a doctor? Yes, I'm going to be travelling with Bonnie Langford, who... there must be her mother over there. I'm going to be travelling with Bonnie, who some of you may not have seen. If you watch tonight, I believe the first column... No, she doesn't appear... She doesn't appear for a while, but she... Yes, that's true, is it? Anyway, I've been working with Bonnie. But I've worked with Bonnie before. We worked in London, the West End, in an American import of a British musical called Pirates of Penzance, which was first done in New York, and then it came to London, and Bonnie and I were in it together, trying to upstage each other. I don't know who succeeded.
Do you know if there will be any new deadly enemies of the Doctor?
Well, there will... Actually, I presume there will be. I know there will be one old deadly enemy. I think John knows more about that than I, because as I said, I only got the job on Monday. I've seen it. Trying to help President Reagan out is a very difficult job. Completely innocent, I'll hand you over to someone who does know everything.
Yes, old adversaries. In the new season, there'll be one old adversary who will be the Rani. Played by Kate O'Mara, who's had a great success in Dynasty, as you call it, Dynasty, as we call it, as Caress Morel. Jodie Coyne's sister. So she's coming back to play the Rani in the very first story. And that's really as much as I can tell you at the moment, apart from the fact that there will be some really brilliant new monsters in that very first story.
Yes, what new personality aspects of the Doctor will you bring in?
What new personality aspects of the Doctor will I bring in? Well, the thing about the Doctor is that each one has been a different individual, and each actor that has been given the job has to bring his own individuality to that part. Unlike, say, taking over the role of a character who you've got to be very similar to, you can be as different as you like. But the aspects that I will bring are what you see before you hear. Me, this person here. Who's, tall, dark, handsome, debonair. Why are you laughing? Someone come on? Those are the kind of attributes. Yes. Wow.
What about K9?
What about K9? I don't know. I don't think K9's coming back this one, if ever. I think he's gone to the dog's home, but never mind. I don't know, really. Any other questions? Yes.
Can't do that again.
Right. One from Terry. What
Terry.
will happen when the 12th Doctor regenerates?
Terry asks what will happen when the 12th Doctor regenerates. That's a very depressing thought for me to answer. I just started the job. You can ask John.
Well, I think that there won't really be a problem. I think that we'll be dead and gone by the time that happens. If we're not, then I feel sure that now we've established that the Time Lords have within their grasp a kind of capacity to grant extra regenerations to Time Lords. I would have thought that that's at least one easy way out of it. I don't think the show will stop simply because we've run out of doctors. I really don't.
Yes. How was he chosen to be the Doctor? Did he go through casting, or did you decide to pick him?
How was Sylvester chosen? I'll start this off and then hand over. We had something like 6,000 actors who were interested in playing the part. And these were obviously sifted over several months. I then auditioned several dozen applications and screen tested a few. But having seen Sylvester in the theatre in the Pied Piper, which was just completed at the National Theatre in London, very early on in January, I was more or less certain right there and then, but I wanted to be absolutely sure.
Yes, well, from my end, what it was like was I heard on the BBC News that the last doctor was leaving, euphemistically, and I phoned up my agent and said that, you know, there's a job going at the Beeb, could you try and get it for me? And he did, and another friend of mine who was a producer at the BBC phoned up John here as well and suggested that I make a good doctor. So then I went along and did many interviews, hours and hours of interviews with John, and then the head of drama, the BBC, and the head of series, and then I did the screen test. They still took me on.
Yes, in the middle there. Yep.
John, I was wondering, I've heard that policymakers decided not to do regeneration. Is this true? If it is, how are we going to go about regeneration?
Yes, it's quite true. Colin isn't doing a regeneration story. What?
Off with his head, long live his head.
That was the 4 episodes we wanted him to come and do. How we're going to get around that must remain top secret for the time being. But it will not be disappointing. It will be fairly spectacular. Yes, there.
Are you going to ever tell us the link between the master and the doctor?
I think one of the, are we ever going to reveal the link between the master and the doctor? I think one of the problems with a show that's had this great success over such a long period of time, 24 years this year, is that perhaps the more we know about Gallifrey and his home planet and his home life and so on, the less appealing the character is in its roots. So it's not something I would want to see revealed. I rather like the enigma of the Doctor, and I like the whole relationship of the Doctor and the Master being left in a kind of tenuous state. So it's not something I'd ever want to explain, because I think it might ultimately damage the programs. Yeah.
Will you still be fighting the master?
Will what?
Will you still be fighting the master?
Will you still be fighting the Master?
Yes.
Where do you do most of your shooting? Like in the show?
Where do we do most of our shooting of the show? Oh, I don't know, all over really, all over England, Britain, sometimes abroad, or we call it abroad, Europe, and in the studio, the BBC studios.
There is no BBC sandpit. Lots of rumours have flown around that there is a BBC sandpit where we go once a week. No truth in that whatsoever. All over the place.
When the Doctor regenerates, will Melanie be confused by the regeneration process?
I'm confused. Yes, when the Doctor regenerates, will Melanie be confused? I think she will be when she sees me. She's going to be doubly confused.
Yeah.
Is there any chance of old companions joining the doctor?
Any chance of old companions joining the Doctor? The only problem with bringing back old companions is that it necessitates a special script. And we would commission that script probably a year before we went into production. And none of the old companions are going to commit themselves a year ahead of time to 5 weeks' work. Just occasionally, you know, somebody will say that they could fit something in and maybe we'd write them in, but on the whole it's very, very difficult. We had tremendous headaches with the 5 doctors, but somehow we got there. Yeah.
Have the scripts for the new season already been written?
No. Some of them have been written. The first 5 have been written, but the rest are in the process of being written or rewritten. First show with Sylvester as the Doctor. We'll be in the autumn in the UK. And we'll be transmitting from the autumn to Christmas.
Will it be Doctor Who shot in America? Or is it planning for any shot in America?
Doctor Who being shot in America. We were hoping to do one a couple of years ago, as you're probably aware, in New Orleans. Because of the expense of airfares and the fact that the minute anybody gets here, according to the unions, we then have to give them a day off to recuperate. It's a terribly expensive business, so we would have to rely on co-production money to make it possible. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I would very much hope that we can at some point, but it's reliant on co-production finance. Yeah, in the middle.
Are there plans for a film for the Seven Doctors?
We're thinking about how we might mark 25 years of the programme next year, but come to no firm resolution yet. Still thinking about it. I'm sure there'll be something. Yeah.
You ever consider the current supernova in the sky? Have you got to go and see the civilization there?
You're British.
Yes, I am.
Where are you from? Where are you from? Nottingham. Oh, yes. Yes. Have I thought about what? About the civilization?
5 years away, where there may be a civilization.
Have you bugged my office recently? Next. Are you sure? Yeah, that.
For the new generation, how old is Doctor Who?
Years old.
Colin Baker's was 900, so.
Yeah, well, he's taller than that.
Yeah.
You said Perry was with Colin Baker. Will Perry also be with the new Doctor?
You're behind, dear.
No, in the season that I don't think's aired yet, The Trial of a Time Lord, Perry leads in a somewhat spectacular fashion, and Melanie joins, so the Seventh Doctor will pick up with Melanie. Yeah.
Are you going to change the shape of the TARDIS again as you did Sixth Doctor?
The shape? The interior?
The outside?
The outside? No. Is there any more light that we can have in the auditorium here? So we can have the house lights up.
Who's going to be the new producer of Doctor Who?
Who's going to be the new producer?
You're lovely.
I don't know is the answer. Yeah. Do I think there'll be a trend to go back to 26 episodes a year in a few years' time? I think our new controller, well, our relatively new controller, Michael Gray, likes to schedule in quarters. He likes to schedule the winter quarter, the autumn quarter, spring quarter, and summer quarter, so that 10 to 13 is usually his ideal package of programs. So I think that we'll probably stay at our level of 14, certainly for the time being.
Yeah, will there be any future episodes of the Autumn or the Ice Warriors?
Yes, I mean, if decent enough stories came in, yeah. I mean, no reason why not. We were actually going to use the Autons in The Five Doctors, and the show became over length, so we didn't actually shoot it in the end. But, I mean, they're such terrific monsters, I'd love to bring those back at some point.
What will be the structure of the new season? Will it be one continuous
new season will be shot 4-4-3-3, but not transmitted in that order. It will either be transmitted 4-3-4-3 or 4-3-3-4. And no linking theme. Bring the lights back up. Are we saving the money?
Oh, much better.
When you were referring to Perry going out in a spectacular fashion, you're not insinuating that she's going to go out like that trick, did you?
How much do you want to know?
Yeah.
Yes, in the past few seasons, Gallifrey has really been developed with and with the human disability and the travel and travel, that be more developed in that season?
I know we're talking about Gallifrey. I didn't hear the end of the question.
Will it be more developed in later seasons?
More developed. That sort of gets back to what I was saying earlier, really. I think that every time we go to Gallifrey, there's this danger of learning too much. And that's why we deliberately put this trial place outside Gallifrey, so it was a Gallifreyan course. So, no, not for the time being. I think we ought to leave Gallifrey alone for a while. Yeah.
Would you care to shed some light on the character of Valiant?
Would I care to shed some light on the character of the Valiant?
Who he is and what his motivation?
It depends. How many of you have seen Trial of the Time Lord? I don't really, I hope you'll understand when I say this, I don't really want to ruin their enjoyment of the whole serial by revealing all about him. Sure.
That's my agent. The thing is, if you ask questions about the show, I can't answer them because I haven't done it yet, but never mind. Here we go. Over there, that one.
Have you been a fan of the show for a long time?
Well, yes. I came to the show when the second Doctor was in it. I think I was studying to be a priest when the first one was. We didn't have telly where I was, television, and I never saw that. And so, but I was about 20 anyway, and I followed it right through until I became an actor. And but then when I became an actor, because of the nature of my existence, well, you didn't know where you were going to be next week or the week after. I kind of stopped watching serials because I found that I'd miss the end and get very frustrated. No, the series, I mean, it wasn't, and I no longer watch serials. I just watch a one-off program. So I didn't really see much of the last two, but I've been a great fan. So, I mean, I was delighted to get it. It's great to be a fan of a program and end up as a doctor. How many out there want to be the doctor?
No, I want to be the
I don't think you look as good as me, do you? Don't answer. Is it over there? Are you just stretching? You're just yawning. How dare you be bored? Yellow.
Do you think of extending the show?
Well, they did try it, I believe. They tried it to 45 minutes in Britain. And I think they found that it is a half-hour show. I mean, it works very well within that time slot. And you can get the, the kind of, it's like the old cinema when we used to go and see serials in the cinema. You wouldn't remember that, it was 1066, a long time ago. I remember visiting there in the TARDIS once, and it used to be nice to wait for a week, before the next thing happened. The lady wearing that man's scarf. Sorry?
Is there going to be a new logo for Doctor Who?
Yes, I believe there is. I haven't seen it, but I've heard John say there's going to be a new logo. So I'll not go any further on that logo.
How has your family reacted to the news that you've been chosen to be the doctor?
Well, my son said, yippee! we live on a hill, and my youngest son, who's 9, when he was going to school, he said, I'm going to tell my friends the new doctor lives on our hill. And then he hoped they would say to him, oh, yes, where? He said, 182A. I'm not going to tell you where. And they would say, oh, can we come and visit him? And then they'd say, but that's where you live. I'd say, yeah, it's my dad. You've moved. Oh, no, you've got the same hat. Yes.
There have been books about things about things separately, not really the responsibility of them becoming televised.
Becoming?
Televised.
Our friend is mentioning that there have been some books about the companions. The Further Adventures books, you mean? Yeah. And would they be televised? I don't honestly think they would, to be absolutely honest about it. To the show. It's rather like, we did spin off K9 once, which was hugely successful, and I think that could have worked as a spin-off series. But in a way, I don't think, the Further Adventures of Turbo, however much one likes it. I'm going to stop traffic.
What was the reason behind Tom Baker not being on the Five Doctors? He just didn't want to do it.
What was the reason Tom did not take part in the Five Doctors? I think he felt that he had left so recently that he didn't want to take part. He felt very close to it, as anybody would after a massive 7 years on the show. And he felt he didn't really want to share it with the others. I think it's sort of understandable, really, because it did come very soon after we left. And fortunately, we have that old material to at least include him in some way.
Excuse me. Hello? Could we have one of your assistants scream less, please? Some of your assistants scream so much. They get so
You're right.
I keep wishing they would scream a little bit less.
Less screaming.
Please, for the girls.
He has noted this.
Thank you.
Have you ever considered having a doctor regenerate during the middle of the storylines? And what episodes will we be seeing starting with Colin Baker?
I haven't ever considered regenerating in the middle of a story. No, I think that might be doubly confusing.
2 episodes regenerate at the end of the second episode.
Yeah, no, I think that would be a mistake. I think you have to kind of start a story with a new doctor, I really do. And what was the second part of the question?
What episodes we're going to be seeing starting out with Colin Baker?
Tonight on...
What episodes have been selected?
all of Colin. Is George Worm here? I think George PBS
I heard that
have bought the lot.
I heard that they had Twin Dilemma to Revelation of the Daleks. That was it. But when they replay the Colin Baker stories later on in the year, they'll include Trial of Time Lord.
Yeah, the lot. Any what? Comic episode.
Are there going to be any comic episodes? Not with me playing it. Shakespearean actor. Who knows? Who knows?
Will Melanie give up the diet idea? You already went too far.
She's a little thin, isn't she? Yes. I don't know, really know. I think Bonnie wants to stay that thin. She's very fit.
She put Colin on the diet.
Oh, she put Colin on a diet. Oh, I see. Oh, I thought Melanie was on a diet. It does look like that.
And I think she'll put the new doctor on a rack, don't you?
Will there be as much lag time
to say, I think that Lionheart will obviously be in receipt of the programme as soon as we've made it. It's then really up to the stations when they pick it up, when they buy it. But there's no slowness on our part in parting with the goods. They'll be immediately available should your station wish to purchase.
You can go now.
Is there any chance of the Doctor having like a solo story between Harry?
Well, we've already shot all those, you see. We've shot the story where Terry leaves and where Melanie joins. So there isn't an opportunity for a solo story. Somebody you haven't had before, there. Yeah.
Mr. Turner, when Steve Davis says his loss of the sonic screwdriver is stupid.
Name, address, and credit card.
Is there any chance of the new Doctor picking one up?
I think there's every chance, but it wouldn't look like that ridiculous thing last time.
Yeah, well, I can't stay on all our conditions.
I just want to say that I feel that you really made the right choice. Sylvester was delightful and beautiful.
Thank you much. Thank you very much. That was really nice of you. I'll send a check round later.
Is Sylvester going to wear his glasses in the series?
Well, I don't think so, no. Because I look like maybe I should. I'm only wearing them now because I can't see you.
Right to the back. Yeah.
Why was Amelia only featured in
Because it didn't work. Chameleon was a mistake, really, and it had to be programmed so far in advance. And the problem was that the actors would go and record their speech for various scenes, or at least the pace at which the scene would be played, and then they'd go and rehearse it for a week. And come in the studio, the feed-in was totally different speed, so it was a real pain. So on the day we recorded Chameleon's first scene, we commissioned its exit story.
Is there any chance of the Doctor ever regenerating into a female?
No. Being a Scot, I wear a kilt sometimes.
Since you are Scottish, the Doctor is going to be one. Do you think if they use the Scottish accent as that he misses Jamie?
Jamie. Well, it's a good job he's not in it, because I'd have to say, hello there, Jimmy, all right? No, I don't, I mean, it would just be, it won't be too Scottish, I don't think. Just British, really. Because I'm an Anglo-Irish Scottish Brit. I'm very confused.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid we have to move the schedule on. Just 2 more questions.
Tell me what kind of outfit you're going to be wearing.
We discussed that earlier. I can't tell you. I'm not going to tell you, and you're not going to find out. Switch on and see. Sorry, we didn't talk about that. You were asleep at the time, but don't worry.
With the Ronnie, you seem to almost be getting into giving the master a companion. I thought that was an interesting concept, either human, non-human, mechanical. Is there any chance of the master having a companion in future episodes?
What would she be called? The mistress? I think it is a slight problem, really, that the character really does need somebody to chat to, and it's something we've thought about, but come to no sound conclusion. That's a very good point.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. John Nathan Turner and Sylvester McCoy.
Richard, I was right. They got Leonard to be the new doctor. You're right.
Ladies and gentlemen, if I can have your attention, please, just to bring you up to date with what is going on. If you